Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerry. What's up? Wagwan, you good? Good. Now, today I'm going to talk about something that has been a source of insecurity for me since I was very young. And that is the fact that I have thinning edges, weak edges, as some might say, and I have a bald spot in my head. So if you want to see how I cope with that, in addition to locks, or you want to spend some time with me, because nothing wrong with that, right? Just keep on watching. Okay, guys, so I have always, for as long as I remember, had this bald spot in my head. And before I go any further, I'm just gonna show you guys what I'm talking about. It's this bald spot right here. If you notice, there are hairs and they are very fine, but they're so fine that they look non-existent. And I can get only 3 locks from this area of my head, as opposed to the other side, which is not as bald, but it is not great either. This one, it's not so bad, but it is still like very thin on this side. So I have had this or these spots for as long as I can remember, as I said before, from high school, because I don't remember it being a problem when I was in primary school, because maybe I wasn't so conscious about my appearance then. But all throughout high school, I noticed that I had this bald spot, and I did check with my mom, and she said that I've had it since I was young. So this has been a source of insecurity. I, really find it difficult to put my hair in styles where it's going to, show off that bald spot. I've tried so many things to, grow them back. I've tried castor oil. I've tried this product called Edge Entity, which I know has really been has given great results to other persons, but it has just not worked for me. So I still suffer with that bald spot, or those bald spots that are in my head, but just that this one is way more pronounced. You know what I mean? Since I got locks, usually, I'd want to put my hair in a style, and before I got locks, I would put it up in a ponytail, but I would have to use something dark like a mascara or an eyebrow pencil or something like that, and I'd have to, darken the area. I'd have to darken the area, and just to make it look as if I have hair there. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't dare leave the house showing my bald spot. And even in relationships, persons would know that I have that bald spot until probably, a moment when I let down my guard and didn't cover it up. But for the most part, it has always remained covered up, because it's just been a source of insecurity for me. I really hate seeing it. And I feel like I look less than beautiful when it's showing. So I always endeavor to cover it up. Now, when I got locks, I'm somebody who likes to put my hair up. So when I had natural hair, I didn't have a problem. You know what I mean? Because I could hide it with mascara or an eyebrow pencil. But since I got locks, I can't really like pin up my hair the way I want to, because if I pin up my hair, boom, the bald spot is gonna show, you know what I mean? So I can't really pin up my hair, but so I have to really like let it down, or probably pin up one side and let, you know, do some style where it's like to one side and one side is pinned up. So I can't do a style that is going to expose that bald spot because it feels so uncomfortable. One good thing that I've noticed though is that since I got locks, the hairs, the really fine hairs that are at this bald spot area, because it's not like totally bald, it's not bald. There are hairs, but they're so fine. It's might as well they're not there. You know what I mean? But I noticed that the hairs are becoming a little bit thicker. I don't know if it's because I'm not manipulating my hair as much, but they are becoming a little more noticeable, and I'm so happy for that. You know what I mean? I don't have to. I'm wondering if maybe it's going to grow back. You know, I'm holding out hope. I think it's hereditary because persons who are, you know, on my father's side of family, they do tend to have bald spots or thinning hair. And I think that is the side that I got like the thinness of my hair from, because there are some persons on my father's side of the family who have like thin hair in some areas of their head. Some would have it in the crown and some would have it at the temples like I do. So that's one thing I inherited from my dad, but you know, it's fine. I really just have had to find ways of adapting. And when I decided to do locks, that was a concern for me in terms of, okay, I'm getting locks. Usually people, you know, put locks in style. I can't like put that mascara to hide it anymore because it would be so obvious with locks, you know what I mean? But you know, I said, you know what, I'm just gonna let them down. I don't have to think about it. So it has been a blessing in that way, in that I'm more confident in my hair because I'm not worried about the bald spot showing. It's just that I can't really put it in updos like I want. But you know what, that's not a problem. I'll rock my one side pinned up style and, you know, work with that because you know, as long as I'm able to feel comfortable, I'll work with that. Another concern that I had getting locks with thinning hair is that, okay, are these locks gonna put like extra pressure on my already, you know, fragile hair? That's something that I considered, but I wanted locks so badly that I decided to go ahead. If, you know, worst case scenario, I would have to just cut my hair off again. But that is something that I used to do every year anyways. So, you know, it wasn't like a big deal. So I decided to go ahead and get locks. And to be honest, I am really happy I did. My hair has flourished. It has gotten thicker. To me, it just looks thicker. And I guess that's because my hair isn't shedding. Like all the hairs that were normally supposed to be shed is now caught. They're all caught up in the locks. So, you know, my hair looks fuller. You know, it's just like a liberating experience, to be honest. I don't have to worry about my edges as much. Like I used to put my hair in styles that would cause tension a lot, you know, a lot. So I'm wondering if, you know, that has been exacerbating my problem, but my hair has seen an improvement since getting locks. So I would encourage persons who are considering getting locks but are wary because they have really thin hair to go ahead. I have seen so many great results of people who have, like their hair was really struggling. They had thinning crowns, thinning edges, whatever the case may be. And, they got locks and their hair just started flourishing, just started thickening up. So I would encourage you to get locks, and also in terms of the size, I would say for me personally, I decided to go with the really fine size. I said this in a previous video, but I decided to go with a really fine size because I knew that traditional locks would at some point get too heavy. And because my roots are so weak, you know, um, when I put tension on my hair, my edges just start to come out like immediately. Like it doesn't need any sort of extra pressure for them to just start popping out. So I have to be really careful. That's why I stopped wearing braids, what they call them, those larger braids, box braids. I stopped wearing styles that like weighed down my hair, because what I would notice is that after removing those styles, my hair would be really, really thin. After a while with traditional locks, some persons get really thin hair. It does happen with microlocs as well, because, some persons over tighten their microlocs. So that is something that I am actively combating as well. I really don't want 5 years, 10 years down the line, when you're seeing my locks, even when, they're due for a retightening, all you're seeing is scalp, because I've over tightened my locks over the years and caused damage to my scalp. So I've changed my retightening schedule from every 4 weeks to every 8 weeks. I've done smaller locks. I'm not manipulating, I'm not pinning it up, a lot, so that it can just breathe and grow and do its own thing. You know what I mean? Because getting locks, in my opinion, for me personally, was a risk based on the type of hair that I have, based on, how easily my scalp, reacted to things, and my hair would just shed and come out at the root, especially at my edges. So I had to be very careful. I have to be very careful in how I manipulate my locks, in how I style my locks, because I don't want my bald spots to get larger, because I think also it's attributed to, a lot of the styles that I did when I was younger that caused a lot of tension on my hair, especially at the temples, because my hair was always up, you know what I mean, with a puff at the top, and that would just cause a lot of pressure here. So I'm, super careful. I don't like over manipulate it. I have hand in hair syndrome. That's something that's not going to go away, but it's not like I'm constantly like pulling my locks and putting undue pressure on them. It's more as if like I'm running my fingers through it. But yeah, those are all the things that I had to consider when getting locks, considering that I have thin hair, that I have bald spots, that I have weak edges. I don't even know if I have traction alopecia or alopecia, whatever other, because there are several kinds of alopecia. I don't know if it's alopecia that I have, because I haven't like gone to a doctor to, find out what it is. But I'm thinking it's alopecia, because persons in my family have the same kind of baldness in their hair, and that's hereditary. So I'm thinking it's alopecia, or probably female pattern baldness. But isn't that usually at the top, like the crown gets really thin? Because I don't have that. Like my hair is super, thick up here. It's just the outer parts thin. If you're going through the same thing that I am, leave a comment down below and tell me about your experience. If you have locks, tell me if anything has changed, if it has gotten better, if it has gotten worse, what kind of locks you have. I want to know. I want, to talk to persons who are in the same situation as I am. Also, if you're not going through this particular issue, just leave a hug emoji because I want to feel all the love right now. It has been like, I did talk about it on Instagram, but to talk about it here, like actually say the words out of my mouth live, it's not the easiest thing for me. But I just want to be open and, share things with you guys in terms of my lock journey because that's a big part of it. So I just want you guys to know, what I'm going through with my locks. But thank you guys again for staying. As I said, you guys are the real MVPs. Follow me on social media. My Instagram for my locks is Carry On Lock. My Instagram for my makeup, which I will be posting on Monday, it's Caribellum, and my Twitter, which I live on, is Caribellum as well. All right, guys. So it's a pandemic out there. No matter what persons are saying, no matter the restrictions that have been lifted, Corona still a keep. Okay, COVID is still keeping. So please, guys, be safe, sanitize, wear a mask, social distance, okay? And have a great weekend. Bye.